So now we move on to wearing the mask. And please.
Yeah, the mask.
Yeah, the mask. We're not talking about the movie mask, but this is about the face mask that we have to wear. And we have some good questions that if you would answer them already, I think which is great. So maybe I can tell you already. We have Samin who has asked that, can we use the same mask for more than once, or are there any specific hours or the the life limit or the validity of a mask, or can we use it multiple times? We also have one question from Brandon who is saying, while using mask, is it safe to remove before sneezing and then put it back again? So maybe you can highlight that as well while you explain this. And we have also one question from Bisharat that so many women, they wear dupattas and scarf. So what is the best way to, maybe, I think she's asking in a way that how we can, best use the face mask, especially when we are wearing the scarf. So I'm sure that you are going to cover all this topic, but just for your knowledge, that people, they are super interested in knowing that how we can use the face mask, and can we reuse the mask, and maybe how we can sanitize the mask. Is there is a life, expiry of a face mask? So please.
Okay, let's go in steps again. All right. So according to the WHO says that, the masks are reserved for a certain category of people, right? They say that the healthcare workers, the people who have the COVID-19 symptoms, or if you are a caretaker of a person who has COVID-19 or COVID-19 symptoms. That is what the WHO says. However, here in the United Arab Emirates, it is mandatory to wear a mask, and we follow that. We go by the law of the land. And George Gao, who's also the head of the Chinese Center for Disease Control and Prevention, when he was asked that, okay, what is one of the mistakes that, the other countries have made, he said that, one of the biggest mistakes that the US and Europe did were, people did not wear masks. So I think that explains that the mask is really very essential. Now, coming to the thing of how to wear a mask. Now, somebody said, okay, women are wearing dupattas and scarf. I wear a scarf, so I will try and show you how I wear a scarf. There are two ways. So now I have a mask here.
Okay, so you're going to demonstrate right now.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is first time you're going to see how to wear a mask. You might have seen a lot of videos, and now is the time. If you're watching us on LinkedIn, to all the viewers, we have Dr. Nabila Daud with us today. She's based out in Dubai. I just would like to introduce you again to my new viewers. As I can see, the viewership is going, up and up. So today we are talking about maintaining well-being during COVID-19, and we're talking, from different aspects of different aspects that how we can protect ourselves when it comes to face masks, washing our hands, kind of food that we eat to improve our immune system, social distancing, different age groups, how this disease is transmitted, and how we can best protect ourselves. So we have already covered a lot of topics. So if you have just joined, no problem. You can always watch this live broadcast, which will be available on my YouTube channel, which is simply Sohaib Hassan, and then you can watch it right from the beginning. And and a lot of topic we still have to cover in today's live broadcast. And I encourage you to stay with us, because a lot of information is yet to come. So now we are going to see that how you have to wear the mask. And of course, we'll hear from Dr. Nabila that the more insights inside the mask, that how the mask should be used, and in what cases or in certain scenarios that we always have to wear the mask.
All right.
Like maybe for cooking, do we people they think like we always have to wear the mask, just to stay safe while cooking maybe, and or maybe like all the time. Is it necessary? Or is it just only for when you're going, especially when you're going outside, that you have to wear the mask?
I think none of us are wearing masks at home, but then it is important that, when we go outside, that is when we have to follow, what we have to do, the gloves and the mask, right? And until if somebody is sick in the house, then of course, the person is isolated. And then if we are in touch with the person, or for example, we are giving food to the person because he's having symptoms, so then in that case, it would be a good idea to wear the mask and, come in touch with the person, right? So now I have this with me, right? This is just a simple medical surgical mask, what we call, right? The important thing is not to touch the front bit. Sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna bring my mask as well, because I want to try with you. Okay. So just give me a second, and I'll be back.
Okay.
All right, so I also have a brand new mask with me that I'm going to try with Dr. Nabila today. All right,
Perfect.
let's go ahead. So I have
Okay.
this white surface, and there's this blue one as well on the back.
Yes. So there is yes, there's a white and there's a blue and a white one, right?
Yes,
Okay, fine.
that's right.
Yeah, you have the loops here. Okay.
Yeah.
So now when you see any mask, you would have this bit which is, there's kind of a wire here somewhere at
Yeah,
one
that's
end.
right.
One of these, where do you have it? Do you have it here at the top?
Yeah, I have it on the top.
Okay, fine. Perfect. So when you wear a mask, the blue bit is going to come outside and the white one will go in.
Okay.
It will
The
be
blue
like this.
one will be outside, and the
Yes.
white one will go inside.
Yes, exactly. Okay.
All
So
right.
you're just, and you don't have to touch the front bit. You're constantly touching the front bit, right? Make
Oh,
sure that you're just holding it like this, right? And
okay.
wear it.
Okay.
Okay. No, don't touch. Don't touch. Okay. Leave it there. So now what you have to do is the wire part always has to be at the top.
Oh, wait. The white side will be inside, right?
The wired part.
No, 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 no. The white side should be inside, or blue side should be inside.
No, no, no. The white is inside that, but I'm saying there's a hard bit you see here, right?
Yes.
There's a kind
All
of
right.
wire here. Wire.
Yeah. Yeah,
WIRE.
it's on the top.
Yeah, that has to be on the top, right? Because what you have to do is you're going to press it against the bridge of your nose. Yes.
Okay.
And then it is going to take the shape of your face here.
Right.
Okay. And then you have to make sure that the nose, the mouth, and the chin. So pull it down. Yes.
Ah.
So the
I
whole
see.
thing has to be covered. So you should
Right,
have a
right.
kind of good seal here so that you're protected from all corners, right?
Okay. You know what? Because actually, from my screen, I can see like your outside is like, maybe it's
No,
because of the
actually,
camera.
my
It's
mask
white.
is quite pale. No, no, my mask is actually quite pale.
Okay. Okay. All right. That's
It's
fine
a,
then. So
it's saying it is
actually,
quite.
like, so the blue side is going to be outside, which is
Yes,
fine.
this is
Okay.
actually the blue side of my mask because it's very, very light. This one is
Okay.
very
All
light,
right. Okay.
right?
And
So this
then,
is
so that's the way to use the mask, like to
yes,
put on the mask. Okay.
exactly. And you have to make sure that you don't touch the front surface of this because this
Okay.
is also going to be the area where probable contamination is going to happen, right? So when you remove it and before you wear the mask, of course, what you need to do is you need to make sure that your hands are clean. Use a disinfectant or soap water, right? And
Okay.
then what we do is again, do not touch the front bit. Again, you go remove it this way.
All right. Big relief.
Dispose it. Dispose
And
it
then dispose it.
in a closed
I'm going
bin.
to dispose this mask now.
Yes, you have to dispose that and then
Okay.
in a closed bin. So now
Okay.
there was also one thing. I always wear a scarf, so now when I demonstrate it, so this is the way I wear the scarf. I wear the
Mask.
mask. Yeah. But there are some people, what I have also seen, there's some of them, because they do not, they pin their scarves or dupattas, but I don't pin, because the kind of stuff that I wear doesn't slip off, right? So what they do is these loops, they cut it
Okay.
and then they tie it, at the back. They tie it individually like
Like a
this.
knot.
Yeah, yeah. They tie.
Okay.
They cut it and then they make it like 1 and 2. Some of them do that. So there are ladies who are wearing scarves or dupattas, with those pins in, where they cannot constantly keep removing the dupattas or scarf. You can also do that, but then make
Oh,
sure that everything is covered. That's the most important thing.
okay. What about, we have one question here from Basharat. She's saying, she's appreciating Dr. Nabila. You are amazing. You are awesome. She's also asking, I wear niqab while going outside. So how, people, and especially women who do like niqab, hijab. So what's the best way? How do you advise them? They can wear it like outside niqab, or it should be worn inside, before going outside. I know it's a tough one, but maybe, how do you
Actually,
think?
no, actually, I never thought about it. But then, actually, this is a good question, because if I consider the niqab, because when we talk about mask, there's the N95, there is the N95, which we would totally reserve it
Right,
for the healthcare people. And then we have what I showed you, the medical or the
right.
surgical. And we have something, masks, which are made out of cloth, right?
Okay.
people are making masks out of t-shirts and some of them out of handkerchiefs. So what women wear, the niqab, for me, it is going to be something like a cloth mask. But then I think it would be a good idea to wear the mask. If the niqab is very thick, I'm not really sure how the breathing is going to happen. But then if you tell me, okay, if you ask me, okay, where do I wear the niqab, inside or outside? I think I would tell you to wear it inside.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. We have one relevant question here from Samin. She's asking, can you share some more indication, while using the mask? For example, people, they might have masks with green and white color. So the white one has to be always inside, or?
Green and white. I mean, okay, yes, green and white. Okay, fine. So the green is outside and the white is inside.
Okay, great. So, Smin, I hope you have got your answer. We have Brennan. He's asking, thank you, doctor. Never knew this before, how to wear the mask. And I'm sure many people, they don't know, but now they know, and he's appreciating, your information and the way you have explained is very insightful. And to all the listeners who have just joined us, we have Dr. Nabila with us today. And we are talking about COVID-19 and how we can protect ourselves. By the way, I think this is one of the good examples, you have just demonstrated how to wear the mask. And I literally, I felt it that, that's the right way to wear the mask. But before, I was also just putting the mask. But one thing that I learned today is that we don't have to even touch the mask. So, using the mask is, if I could show all the listeners again, although that don't use your mask again, this is the first. So make sure your blue side is outside, white is inside, and you put it there. And then you make sure this stripe is on your nose, on the top, and then you stretch it from here.
Yes, very good, sir.
And it really stretches. Before we were just using, for example, okay, that's the way to use a mask. But no, that's not the way, that's the proper way is that. And then make sure that after you have used your mask that you don't use it again and you just have to throw it away. And
one thing that I see people doing, I've seen many people do this, so it's like if they're wearing the mask, this is what they do. So I'm just wondering,
exactly.
Why do you leave this open? I mean, the virus can enter via this, so why are you leaving this open? So it is important that the concept of a mask, it is this, it is not like this, not keeping your chin exposed, because some people feel I want to breathe, so I don't know, they try and keep different outlets, so it is important to wear the mask. That is the reason if we do two things, washing the hands in the mask, and that is why I was very particular that, it's like we should show it to everybody because these are two very effective ways.
Yeah, exactly, to protect ourselves. I think which is great. All right, let's move. I hope you guys are enjoying today's session, this very informative session about COVID-19. We still have a lot to cover, so please stick with us, stay with us.
Can I add one more last thing about a mask?
Please go ahead.
Okay, so now I have purchased a mask, which I'm just going to try and cover the brand, right? Okay. So this is the mask which, okay, if I can show it. This is the mask which I have purchased, and now this is an N95 mask. So here, all the specifications are given here. So this is made of some fabric and with some filtration system, and this is an N95. Now the advantage of this is going to be, I mean, it is more, environment friendly. And here, when you buy masks like this from certain brands, they always specify how to maintain the mask, when, how many washes are required, and all the other details. So this is always very helpful. So this is my N95.
Great, thank you very much. So by the way, so this mask, for example, although I have used it, can I dip this mask in boiling hot water for maybe a minute, and then I can take it out, and then I can use it again? Will that be okay, or?
Definitely not.
That every time we have to wear like a fresh new mask?
No, I mean, if it becomes damp, then you definitely need to change it. And you're definitely not going to dip that in hot water. Definitely. It is these kind of masks, the N95 that I was talking about, the one which I have, these are the ones, which can be put in, warm water, depending on the instructions which have been given by the manufacturer. But the one which you're carrying, definitely not in hot water. Definitely not.
So these are the ones, then disposable ones. So would you say you use it and then throw it away? So we have one question here from Tamanna. She's asking, is N95 mask better than the surgical masks?
Yes, they're definitely better. But then it is also difficult to breathe, for the normal public, it would be very difficult breathing in N95. So it is always advisable that, everybody can go for the medical mask. That's okay.
Okay, great information. Thank you very much, doctor, for sharing this, wealth of information, and especially your time that, you have taken up today to share this so much, so much of value, today you are sharing with the audience, and the information which has so much weight. We see, and then especially we read, such kind of information in different articles, but now we have witnessed, we have actually practically seen doctor doing it. And I think a lot of people, they have taken, notes of this session. And of course, a lot is yet to come.